I was up here.
And can you tell us what it was specifically that made you feel like you both needed to change where you were living in Ottawa and then go to spend time in Montreal?
Well, I felt personally threatened when you walked through the convoy and saw some of the banners, saw the Prime Minister hanging off the end of a rope, for example, violent images, and you saw some of the rhetoric that was coming out from the protesters. Sorry, I shouldn't say protesters because it wasn't legitimate protest. The occupiers. And when you saw what the occupiers were doing to my staff and the experiences that they were coming in with, at one point I said, I'm going to Montreal, we're going virtual, because I didn't want to put my staff at risk to have to come into work. All of that made me feel threatened. It only takes one person to recognize me, and I'm often alone, and I would have been vulnerable.
Right. And you mentioned about concerns for your staff, and I think earlier you told us about concerns specifically for female staff, that they were reporting concerns for their safety to you.
Correct.
Mr. Clerk, if we could pull up, please, document SSM.CAN.00007840. And while this is coming up, Minister Lametti, I can tell you that this document is a series of text messages between yourself and Minister Anand, where it looks to be that you're discussing the situation of threats to your staff. Unfortunately, we don't see a date on these texts, but if you take a moment to review it, I'm going to ask you whether you can confirm for me that you are the Blue Bubbles.
Yes, I am.
And you say had a tough week in Ottawa, team members harassed, back in Montreal, and will do virtual to spare my team. And further down, you tell Minister Anand, even worse, it is the women who feel unsafe. Got my driver to drive them when I could.
That's right.
And just to be clear, you were hearing firsthand stories or concerns reported by your staff?
That's correct.
That's right. And you know, we've heard that you were able to move residences in Ottawa and then go to Montreal, but you would obviously be aware that there were many residents of downtown Ottawa who unfortunately didn't have that luxury or the means to move elsewhere and were stuck in the midst of this convoy.
Yes, that's right. I mean, a number of friends who live in the Ottawa area with whom I am very close.
And is it fair to say then that you didn't need government intelligence to tell you whether the convoy was causing harm to people and businesses in downtown Ottawa, that you saw this in fact for yourself with your own eyes?
Absolutely true. I mean, the Rideau Centre was closed. Again, I'm not going to disclose where I live, but it's something that I see often. I saw other businesses impacted, and I saw and heard from people who were impacted, whose movements changed, and I could see that. As you have said, with my own eyes.
Thank you. Those are my questions. And Commissioner, I think I have 1 minute left, and I would cede that to the CCLA. Thank you.